had never felt compelled to create a video just because of a TV show, and today's the day. First of all, I just want to say that I'm a psychotherapist, which doesn't necessarily mean that I am totally qualified to analyze anything. Maybe it does. Maybe I might use some of that judgment to analyze some of the things that go on in this show. But I mean, did you watch the show? Because it is amazing. It is the first time I have felt so emotionally affected. And I don't want to be rambly in this video. I just want to say some things because I feel like this show gives us a huge opportunity to see the things that are happening in our world with our teenagers in some parts of the world because of just the way society is today, which is really complicated. And what I liked most about the show is that it's really not trying to tell you, because I've seen some comments online being like, oh, so he was bullied and that's why he chose to kill the girl. It's not, that's not what the show is about. The show is actually about, and of course this is my opinion, but it's actually about, you know, questioning ourselves. Why would something like that happen? Because for a person like me, I couldn't even think this happened because that kid was a psychopath. You know, this kid came with a faulty gene or whatever. But we don't know. That's the thing, we don't know. The show, what it's telling us is that we really can't know for sure why this kid, you know, in this case, why he would choose to do something like this. Is it society? Is it the school system? Is it the fact that because of the way our society is built and the parents aren't there most of the time, the dad arrives, I don't remember what time he gets home, but he can barely be with his kid. Does that have to do with it? Is it because he's a psychopath? You know, is it because he came with this? Is it because he was bullied? I mean, there are so many interpretations of why this could happen. And that's why so many people felt like, oh, but you know, why did he do it? And that's not the point. That's not the point of the show. The show is like, let's take a harder look at how complicated things are right now in our society, and how something so simple as, you know, checking on your kids, asking them questions, even being more involved in being, you know, empathy, being more empathic. And one of the things that struck me most in the series was, first of all, like the school. I felt so horrible watching those scenes with the school, especially that kid that would laugh when the police arrived and saying that they were investigating the death of this student. And also the kid that probably, I mean, you kind of conclude that those two kids on the bikes at the end were the ones that painted on the van. And when the dad is like shaking him, that kid is like laughing in his face, and it's so painful. Okay, wait, I have to calm down. This is what the series did to me. It's so powerful emotionally. It's just like, I think about it, I think of the last scene and I'm just like, oh my, this is so heavy. So that, you know, the whole thing with teenagers and thinking how many teenagers really don't have, I mean, even if they have, that's the thing with the show, which is so incredibly powerful, is that even if you have a completely beautiful family with parents that love you, a normal family even, you know, it doesn't have to be a wonderful family, just a normal family, it happens. It can happen. And I feel like teenagers these days have they have so little positive role models. And there can be a lot of adult role models, which is very important, but also I just think it's so important for teenagers to have teen role models, people their age that are able to say, you know what, it's not cool to make fun of other people. It's not cool to contaminate, I don't know. It's not cool to bully people online. Let's spend less time on social media. It must be so hard to be a teenager right now. I can't even imagine how hard it must be. I can't even imagine how I would be as a teenager in this time. It must be so difficult. But teens really need positive role models. And again, I'm not saying that the show is about society or the school or that's what made this kid do this. I think it might have triggered his psychopath tendencies, but teens need to know that there are things that aren't right. A lot of adults need to know that too. You know, that we're in this world that is, it's so hard for us to listen to each other and feel for each other and be empathic towards each other and to be kind. And I have to say that, you know, I'm human too. That's why I was saying in the beginning that being a psychotherapist, okay, but I'm human and I feel things. And sometimes I'm in a super bad mood because of something. And I kind of, when I drive, I'm not my favorite person when I drive. And so we're just in a moment in society where it's so difficult for us to see eye to eye and not hate each other. There's a lot of that also in the show. The show is so beautiful. I mean, if you're watching this, I hope, because I stated it in the title, so, spoilers. I was saying that the school situation is one thing that really impacted me. And what I was going to say is that I never went through bullying myself. And I can't even imagine how somebody that has gone through bullying, that has received bullying, that has been on the receiving end of bullying feels or even felt watching that, because that school environment seemed so toxic. Ew. I'm so glad I'm not a teenager right now. If this has ever happened to you, if you're a teenager, please ask for help. And if you're an adult, I hope that you work through this. And again, why am I saying this? Because for me, looking at those images it just caused so much stress and anguish. And so I'm like, wow, people actually, I know this, so that people go through that, but it's so sad. I also want to say that I was pleasantly surprised at the acting by the woman that plays the therapist that goes to evaluate this kid. That was really good. I just might have it really hit me when she wasn't able to say anything, when he was like, do you like me? And what do you think of me? And I'm not saying it was wrong, because this isn't actually a therapeutic setting. She's not acting like they're having a therapeutic session. She's evaluating him. But I couldn't help but feel like, if I were there, I would have said, I just want you to know that what you think of yourself is not necessarily true, and I don't necessarily think it's true. Now, if he had kept shouting, what do you think of me? Do you like me? Maybe, I don't know, maybe I would just stay quiet. That's the only part I was like, I probably would have said something different, which might not be the most correct thing. And people seeing this might think like, no, you're wrong. But I feel a few words of kindness really never hurt anybody. Yeah. Okay, and the last part, just the parents. I'm a parent, I'm a mom. Being a parent is very difficult. And people don't really realize what it is to be a parent. It is a tremendous, huge responsibility. And I know that this is so hard to understand, because if you don't have children, you can't really know beforehand what it means to be a parent. It is hard work. It might not seem so hard because you love them so much, but it is hard work. There's a part that is really luck. How lucky you are if your child doesn't have mental health issues, if your child has fun in school, is not bullied. There's so many things to think about. And I don't want to freak people out that don't have children and want to have children. Just really think about the responsibility, and especially in this day and age where social media just has crept into every corner of our lives. It's a decision that is very important to think about. Kudos to the actor that's the dad, Steven something, I don't remember. But that actor, I'm gonna cry again. I can't even talk about it. It's just so powerful. Amazing acting. I felt like I was watching a family, watching real life, watching a dad go through all the emotions of understanding and seeing and realizing his son is a murderer. And it's just so good. It is so good. This is the best show I've watched. Honestly, it's the best show I've watched. So, the conclusion of this video is we need help as a society, and each of us, because I truly believe this. I don't want to end in a super rosy, positive note, because I don't think that life is easy. I think that life is pretty hard. I think that we are all aware that this is not how it should be. It should be better, right? But we can make it better. We can make it better. I have to calm down again. Yeah, we can make it better. We have a responsibility. We have a huge responsibility, each of us, in everything we do. And this message is for you, it's for me, it's for everybody. That life is really hard for all of us. So it does make a difference to check on people and to smile and to have deep conversations. I am a super deep conversator. I like talking deep crap all the time, so people can get really bored of me, because for me every day is like, what is the meaning of everything? But it really doesn't hurt to a kind word, checking in, being kind. No, it doesn't really take that much. It doesn't take that much. Even if you've made mistakes in the past, I know I have. We have today. We have this moment. We have right now. to do something different, even if we've made mistakes in the past. So I think that is the message of this show. Be better. I really hope you enjoy this video. I mean, I don't even care if you subscribe, don't subscribe. Just leave your opinions, please, because I'm really interested in people's opinions. And I think that that's how we start fixing the world also, is having conversations. I know that this isn't really having conversations, but I actually think it helps. I always suggest to the people I work with, even, you know, if there's something that's super hard to say, maybe you can write it down first, because writing allows you to think through, most of the time, to think through what you're going to say, and it allows the other person to kind of digest and process. And so, you know, leave me your comments. I hope they're honest and kind. Even if you think differently from me, that's fine. But yeah, let's try to make this world a better place.